We'll quickly see some of the phrases or the passage we did last time and then continue further. 106.16. They are for an hour untouched by the earth's siege. They see some common life and care and set, inclining to the high and rhythmic voice. Now, here in this sentence, they ceased from common life. They ceased. They, of course, stands for the queen and the king. Narad is singing for an hour, and the worries of ruling the kingdom, the worries of this world, all those things were kept aside, so to say, by the power of this song. Earth's siege, they were free of the earthly duties, the kingly duties, the daily cares, life, common life and care. That is our lot. That is what even a person like King Ashwapati has to experience, the common lot. And then, of course, while in his measured chant again is a very powerful phrase. Measured, of course, also means with proper beat, with proper musical notes and things like that. But it, in fact, conveys here the sense of caution with which Narad is singing. Both are indicated there. The sense of caution. He is bringing the word of faith, and while he is singing, he is keeping sort of control over the entire development, measured chant. It is a deliberate delivery of the message in a certain manner. He has kind of planned the whole thing, how to proceed and how to deliver the message. So, it is a calculated way of conveying of what is going to happen. In that sense, also it is measured chant. You see, spoke of the toils of men and what the gods strive on earth. Now, of course, that we have already seen what the gods strive on earth. They have been constantly guiding the fate of man. Although man is not open, man is not aware, still they are active, they are leading him on the upward path. And the joy that throws behind the marvel and the mystery of pain. This is what we were talking last time. Marvel and mystery of pain. This is really something very divine. This pain is something really divine in that sense, you see. And of course, he is not going to tell you straight away about marvel and mystery of death. See, that is also equally marvelous and equally mysterious. He sang to them of the lotus heart of love, with all its thousand luminous buds of truth. Lotus heart of love with luminous buds of truth. So that is what is going to happen. Lotus heart, the divine ananda of prema, joy, happiness. It is that he is singing. Thousand luminous buds. It is the multiplicity with which that love will grow here. He is already indicating the possibility of new manifestation by saying thousand luminous buds. The new manifestation which is about to arrive, that is what he is already indicating in that sense. It trembles at each touch, it strives to wake, and one day it shall hear a blissful voice, and in the garden of the spouse shall bloom when she sees by her discovered Lord. Now, there are two or three things here garden of the spouse, her discovered Lord. Well, her discovered Lord could imply Savitri discovering love, Savitri meeting Satyavan. But that has already happened. It has already happened. Actually, it is in that context Narad is coming. It has already happened. When she sees by her discovered Lord, when she is seized, well, actually it has already happened. There is no question of when she is seized. You see, she has already been seized by her discovered Lord. But when she is seized, would indicate what we are going to have in the 11th book, the book of everlasting tree. Then she will be really seized by her Lord. Savitri will be really seized by her Lord. And it is there that Supreme Himself is going to give Savitri the wonderful boon of the divine life upon earth. That is the moment which is going to come when she sees, when Savitri has surrendered herself to her, surrendered at the same time, asserted herself. You want me to come and stay in heaven? I am sorry, I am not interested in that. No. I want whatever I want for the sake of the earth, for the soul of the earth. So she has surrendered to the Lord, and yet she insisted upon her own demand that must be fulfilled. That is the beauty of the whole thing, of that surrender, you see. And the Lord is happy that Savitri has made that choice, that whatever she wants is not for herself, but for the soul of the earth. And it is then the Lord has seized her. Oh, beautiful slave of God. That is what we have got. Oh, beautiful slave of God. She has become the slave of God, you see. When she sees by her discovered Lord. And one day it shall hear. You see, this is obviously, one day it shall hear, it shall hear. It is not referring to Satyavan and Savitri's meeting. It has already happened, you see. You see. She is going to hear later on when death is conquered, death is transformed, when the true being behind the death reveals himself to Savitri. It is that one day, on that day it happens. She sees by her discovered Lord. Now, garden of the spouse. Well, in a very simple poetic manner, Savitri was moving from place to place. She has entered into the beautiful forest, Shalva forest, a lovely place. We have a wonderful description of that thing right in the beginning of the book of love, the destined meeting place, and the birds, the flowers, the trees, all that things are described. That is the garden place. That is the earthly heaven itself already. So she has already discovered that. So that is not the garden of the spouse. Spouse, of course, here could stand for Savitri, it could stand for Satyavan also. Yeah. So that has already happened. Garden of the spouse shall bloom. This spouse here, garden of the spouse, I think it has a very definite echo of what we have in the Bible. In King James Bible, we have a very beautiful phrase, and it says, blooming of lotus heart in the garden of spouse. About that, the King James Bible says, a garden enclosed is my sister and is my bride. He says both, is my sister and my bride. A garden enclosed is my sister, my bride. A rock garden, the garden of the spouse is a rock garden. A spring sealed up. A spring sealed up. A rock garden locked. A spring sealed up. That is the garden of spouse. The garden is sealed. It is locked. It is enclosed. And it is in that garden shall bloom what is going to happen tomorrow. And the garden of the spouse shall bloom when she sees by her discovered Lord. Now, here, according to the uh, biblical connotation, if you go by the garden of the spouse as described here, garden spouse is the bride of Christ. That is, church is the bride of Christ. Church is the bride of Christ. And when the Lord seizes her, then there is a real full flowering of proper life. So that is, I think, the connotation of the garden of the spouse. Although poetically you need not connect to the biblical, it runs very smoothly, very easily in the entire description. But there is a definite, deliberate echo to the biblical idea of the Lord seizing his bride, the church, the high divinity, basically, that it must come and really flourish, grow. It is otherwise, garden of the spouse becomes a little romantic, a little poetic only. But there is a definite occult connection with that, and the poet is very sensitive in these matters. He has deliberately introduced that sort of an element here. A garden enclosed. Normally, garden of the spouse is a closed surface, closed garden. In fact, all the gardens are normally closed. They are not open in all the directions. And there is my sister, my bride. He says, well, church is my sister, my bride also. It is she who will go. A rock garden locked, a spring sealed up. That is what. So it is a sealed spring up. Now it is that which will bloom. They shall hear a blissful voice, and the garden of spouse shall bloom when she sees by her discovered Lord. Now, I have told you just now, her discovered Lord has a definite connection with the 11th book. It is, in the immediate context, you could link it up with Satyavan. Of course, it is there, but the poet is also telling you something different. When he says, it shall hear, it is not a question of it shall hear. She has already heard, they have already met. So that question doesn't arise, you see. When she sees by her discovered Lord, a mighty stirring coil of ecstasy crept through the deep heart of the universe. Naturally, now, when it is in the garden of the spouse, it is the entire universe which is going to be shaken up. Obviously, it is the workplace, the world of the Lord Himself, His bride, who is going to flower up here, you see. And naturally, the heart of the universe shall wake up that out of her matter stupor, her mind's dream, she looked upon God's veiled surface. And of course, we have seen last time, even as a sign and rapture stole to earth time, and earth and cut the heavens, came with a call of hosts, as of a swift heart hastening, Savitri, her radiant trait glimmered across the floor. Now, the poet is moving very fast. The story is also moving very fast, very rapidly, you see. If you see the entire sequence, the epic moment is very swift. It doesn't stay too long on a particular theme, on an aspect. It moves very rapidly, you see. Glimmered across the floor. So Savitri is coming, that is what we saw last time. A happy wonder in her fathomless skill. Now that is understandable. She has discovered her love and she is in a different world altogether, floating in the ninth or 11th cloud, we don't know, whatever it is, you see. Change with the halo of her love, halo of a change by the halo of her love. That is the miracle which is wrought by love. That is the power of love. That is the alchemy, changed. She is transformed. She is a different person now altogether. That is the alchemy which has worked itself out because of the discovery of love. Savitri is no more that old Savitri now. A great transformation has already taken place in her. Now, obviously, change by her halo. What kind of change has taken place in Savitri? Certainly, on the human level, it is the discovery of love. There is a certain vital element in that. It is definitely there. But more than that, halo of love. It is the lyrical, the beautiful, the sweet, the glamour. It is that which has really brought about the thing. In other words, Savitri's psychic being has awakened to a new element because of the power of love. To such an extent that even her physical aspect has undergone a change, a transmutation. The psychic has come out so much forward, that even her outward actions, movements, physical, everything is suffused with that psychic element of Savitri. And that is the change which is halo. That is the halo now which is spreading around here. Her eyes rich with a shining mist of joy, that is sheer poetry, as one who comes from a heavenly embassy, discharging the proud mission of her heart. Discharging the proud mission of her heart. Was Savitri going from place to place purely in the quest of love? Or was Savitri going from place to place because she was missioned to do by somebody? Savitri, go and find out, is it because of that she feels that her mission is accomplished? Or is it something within her which has taken her around to different parts of the country and then later on found, discharged the prophet? Who has given the mission to her? Is Savitri's love, discovery of love, a part of the mission? Savitri, go and find out your love. That will be a little artificial, you see. Don't you think so? But here we have to recollect that Ashwapati was in deep trance, and then he hears a voice. Ashwapati, in deep meditation, hears the voice, and he sees Savitri approaching him, young Savitri. That Ashwapati sees that there is a problem in this world, and the problem has got to be solved. And when he sees Savitri approaching him, then he immediately recognizes that, yes, the solution that problem is here. The solution for that problem is here, Savitri. And then we have this beautiful passage which we have done earlier also, 98.57. As when the mantra sings in yoga's ear, its message enters stirring the blind brain and keeps in the dim, ignorant cells the sound. The hearer understands a form of words, and musing on the index thought it holds, he strives to read it with the laboring mind, but finds brightened not the embodied truth. Then, falling silent in himself to know, he meets the deeper listening of his soul, The word repeats itself in rhythmic strain. Thought, vision, feeling, sense, the body's self are seen unalterably, and he endures an ecstasy and an immortal change. He feels a wideness and becomes a power. All knowledge rushes on him like a sea, transmuted by the white spiritual ray. He walks in naked heavens of joy and calm, sees the God face and hears transcendent speech. And equal greatness in her life was born. Already that great change has taken place in the life of Savitri. When the mantra, when what her father has told her, her father had told her 98.54, ascend from nature to divinity's heights, from nature to divinity's heights, face the high gods, crowned with felicity, then meet a greater God, thyself beyond time. And then, with that power which was there in the words of Ashwapati, the yogi, that power has entered into the soul of Savitri, and sudden change has taken place in her. And equal greatness in her life was born. And then, of course, from that moment onward, she sets herself on the quest to find her future husband. That is the beginning of the quest from that point onward. So, here, discharging the proud mission, that was the mission given to her. Find out, rise above the nature, find out God, greater self that you are. That was the mission given to Savitri. And Savitri had fulfilled that mission because a change had taken place in her already. Discharge. So that is the mission which was given to her, and she has fulfilled. Naturally, after that thing, she is back home now to the palace, and she's there now to report to her father, yes, I performed the task you had assigned to me, discharging the proud mission of her heart, one carrying the sanction of the gods. Yes, that is it, carrying the sanction of the gods. To her love and its luminous eternity, she stood before her mighty father's throne, and eager for beauty on discovered earth, transformed and new in her heart's miracle light, saw like a rose of marvel, worshipping the fiery sweetness, the Son of Heaven. So Savitri is first approaching her father directly, but why she also sees there in the assembly hall Narad. Narad, sweetness of the Son of Heaven, fiery sweetness of the Son of Heaven. That is what she is seeing already there. So there is something very great, something majestic, something deeply spiritual, luminous in her, in him, and it is that first meeting of Savitri and Narad. Savitri is looking at Narad, and she sees the fiery sweetness in him, and at the same time she is looking at him with reverence, with worshipping heart. There is something great about him. He flung on her his vast, immortal look, vast, immortal look. Of course, he is immortal, and therefore his look also is going to be immortal. But in that immortality of the look, there is a vastness, brahat, vastness in the context of all the issues of this creation, of what is going to happen tomorrow. All that is encompassed in that one single word, vast look of Narad. His inner gaze surrounded her with his light. Narad is looking at her but his inner side is embracing Savitri. He is putting a kind of an envelope around her, a protective envelope around Savitri, so that Savitri will be protected against the evil that is soon going to arrive. And his inner gaze surrounded her with his light. Now, because he is talking of inner gaze surrounded her with his light, it means that there is also perhaps something not very happy, something disturbing, some matter of concern is there. Because the fact that he is surrounding her and giving her protection, it means that there is something going to attack her also, you see. And therefore, reining back knowledge. He is holding back all the knowledge, you see. He is holding back all the knowledge, you see, from his immortal lips. You see, we have immortal look, immortal lips. He cried to her, "Who is this that comes?" The bride. That is his spouse. We have seen earlier. Who is this that comes? The bride. The flame born. We have seen this in last time. Now, there is a little problem here. Bride means a young woman who is just married or who is about to get married. It means both. Who is about to get married. Betrothal or marriage, bride. Both are involved in this phrase bride. Who is this that comes? The bride. Now, that leaves a degree of ambiguity in this particular stage, in the sense that does Narad think that Satyavan and Savitri have already got married in the Shalva forest? The marriage scene, priestly wind, all that we have seen earlier, has the marriage already taken place and she has become the bride? Or is Narad going to tell, yes, she has come back now to the palace, she will report it to her parents and she will get married. In other words, she is a bride who is going to get married soon. So both the elements are present in this phrase, the bride, you see, which has happened. Whether the marriage which has taken already place in the Shalva woods or which is about to take place after Savitri reports. Yeah, he is the eternal seer, of course. Yeah. So he is already, yeah. But now here you have to get that thing transcribed on the earthly plane. The transcription is on the earthly plane, you see. Well, we can say that the heavenly marriage has already taken place. The moment they have met each other, finished. The rest is all your custom, rituals, etc., etc., etc. That is a separate matter altogether. The heavenly marriage has already taken place. So, in that sense, she is already a bride, a married girl, you see, in that sense, from that angle. But in the sense of the world as we live here, the marriage is yet to take place. In fact, in the story as we have in the Mahabharata, the book of love does not exist, as I told you earlier. Savitri goes from place to place, and one morning, she comes back and she sees her father in the company of sage Narad, and then at that point, she discloses that she has found her lover in the Shalva forest, and then Ashwapati arranges for the traditional marriage, which takes place in the forest. Which takes place in the company of the rishis and the priests and the Vedic chanting and that kind of a thing. It takes place at that point here. Now, why this is important, whether the marriage has taken place in the Shalva woods before Narad's arrival or it is going to take place after that, is important in a certain sense. because later on in the same canto, he is going to tell that 12 months are given to him and her. This day returning, Satyavan must die. Now, this day, which day? It is going to be the day from their meeting for the first time, the Shalva goods, or from the day when the marriage will be performed, or the day when he has uttered a sentence. On the day where he has uttered a sentence. Yes, they are all meeting there, and this day returning, Satyavan must die. So that is a little difficult time element to resolve. The world was but their twin self-finding sin, or their own wetted beings vast frame. And then on the high, that is the marriage. That is the marriage. That is the heavenly marriage we are talking of. That is the heavenly marriage. On the high glowing cupola of the day. It is the, as we have said last time, it is that Gandharva kind of marriage which is being described here between the two willing partners to get united. It is that which is described. So here we can say the wedding of the eternal Lord and spouse took place again on earth. Lord and spouse took place again on earth. Now the marriages are arranged in heaven, they get fixed on earth. Now still, whether this is a heavenly marriage or the ritualistic matrimonial contract, so to say, which has taken place here, that is not made clear here. That is kept sort of in suspense. In suspense. But one could argue also that in the story of Vyasa, Savitri, later on, in fact, here also we have Savitri has gone to the forest to stay with her husband, and she is counting the moment, the day, the time, the exact occasion when it is going to take place. She is counting even the moment of the marriage. So, in other words, there is a fixed moment, Vedam, Kalam, as he says here. In Vyasa Savitri, we have got that phrase here, I think, somewhere. He says, time, moment, hour, day, everything is fixed. And Savitri is counting from that point. I would say that it would mean basically the moment when Narad utters the sentence. It is from that point onward, the time, the hour, the moment, the day are to be counted. Are to be counted. So the bride, so this is in that sense a general term, and she is not really wedded in that sense here. Although the heavenly marriage has taken, yes, the souls have met each other, they are identified with each other, they are united with each other, but that is not the marriage on the physical plane yet. And that is what will take later on, you see. Who is this that comes? The bride, the flame born. Well, actually, we had to do a lot of meditation on this issue, how to fix the day and time and the hour and the moment, from which point onward. That needs still some more, because Savitri is counting, and on that particular day, on the day of death, yes, the day has arrived, and then when they are walking together in the forest, she says, oh, now, this will happen. He will die soon. To that exactness, she is calculating everything. And that has to be, in my opinion, from the moment Narad utters that sentence. 12 swift-winged months are given to him and her. This day returning, Satyavan must die. This day returning, Satyavan must die. So, from that day onward, when he is uttering, you have to count 12 months and all that thing you see here. And well, then later on, of course, Narad is already talking very cautiously, reining back knowledge. He is giving a very beautiful description of the whole thing, but he is holding back the knowledge at this moment. He is keeping everybody in suspense. And he says, or half-seen verge of water's moon betrayed, brings thou this glory of enchanted eyes. Your eyes shine with the luster of the moon, with the joy of the moon. Earth has gold-hued expanses, shadowy hills that cow the dreaming phantom heads at night, and guarded in a cloistral joy of moon. Screen banks sink down into felicity. Well, this is the description of that place and all that. We can skip that. And then all these are mysterious presences in which some spirit's immortal bliss is felt. And they betray the earthborn heart of joy. And Narada says, yes, in that beautiful place, in that lovely place, in that enchanting place, you had paused. You had gone to the shallow woods. I have seen it already. You have paused in that place. And it is there you have found something very fascinating. There hast thou paused, and marveling, born eyes unknown, or heard a voice that forced thy life, the voice that forced life. That was, as we have seen, the courtship speech of Satyavan. As you are making advances towards, it is that voice which forced her life, you see. To strain its rapture through thy listening, your soul was listening to what he was telling you. Or if my thought could trust the shimmering gaze, it would say, thou hast not drunk from an earthly cup. Thou hast not drunk from an earthly cup. Well, as I told you last time, surely, so far you have not drunk from an earthly cup. But sorry, soon you will drink from an earthly cup. You will also see the face of misery of this world, the sorrow of this world. That is what you will experience shortly. Thou hast not drunk so far, but soon it is not going to be so. Now here he says, from an earthly cup. And this is, of course, in the immediate context, refers to the greatness of Satyavan's soul. He is not an earthly cup. You are not drunk from an earthly. He is not an earthly cup. You have met him. It means that he is not an earthly cup. He is the celestial cup, heavenly cup, the divine cup. It is from him you have really drunk the wine of love, the joy of love. Thou hast not drunk from an earthly cup. In fact, as we have seen earlier, we have here 102.57. Rare is the cup fit for love's nectar wine. That is not an earthly cup. Rare is the cup fit for love's nectar wine. As rare the vessel that can hold God's birth. That is the avatarhood of Satyavan. His soul made ready to 1,000 years. It takes 1,000 years for the avatar to take the human form. The body of the avatar is prepared by the presiding deity of the age, the presiding Manu of the age. It is he who prepares the body of the avatar. A soul made ready to 1,000 years is the living mold of a supreme descent. It is in that the supreme descent takes place, you see. So it is that cup, rare cup fit for love's nectar wine. Thou hast not drunk from an earthly cup, it is that cup from which you are taken. So if you take from that sense, this is a very remarkable comment of Narad, you see. You have made Satyavan, what a wonderful thing has happened in this creation. You have made. That is the but, therefore, but, you see. Yes, it has happened. Now he has to slowly unravel the story also, take the thread forward. But stepping through azure curtain to the morn, thou wast surrounded on a magic verge in brighter countries than man's eyes can bear. So this is what is going to happen now soon to Savitri. He is dropping the hint, he is running back the knowledge, and this is the way he is going to disclose what is going to happen slowly, slowly. See, the kind of a tension which is built in the entire narrative, that shows the power of the storyteller. Storyteller, see, how Shevendu is a great narrator of the story, you see. Thou hast not drunk from an earthly cup. In brighter country than man's eyes can bear. Obviously, there in some other worlds, this how happened. Aside with trooping voices of delight and seas, mid the sunlit glamour of the boughs, in fairy wood, let down the gleaming slopes of Gandhamadana, where the Apsaras roam. Thy limbs have shared the sports which none has seen, and in Godhorn thy human footsteps strayed, thy mortal bosom quivered with God's speech, and thy soul answered to a word unknown. You don't know what you have answered, what you have spoken. It is your soul who has given the consent, who has answered the call of the love. Your soul has answered the call. You don't know that thing yet. And Narad feels that it is my duty to tell you also what your other thing has not, your soul, all right, but you have not really heard yet. Human Savitri is not yet aware of other dimensions of the whole event. Let down the gleaming slows of Gandhamadana. Now, Gandhamadana is a mythological mountain. Sometimes it is, if you do the internet search, it will tell you that it is about 300 kilometers from Rameshwaram in the south. Not even 300, about 150 kilometers from Rameshwaram, you see. Gandhamadana, you see, Mountain Gandhamadana. But the mythological story belongs to a different grade altogether. In the Ramayana, there is a very specific mention of this Gandhamadana, and it is in the Himalayas. It is somewhere near the Kailasha Parvat, the abode of Shiva, Gandhamadana. It is a heavenly mountain, and there you have got heavenly names, heavenly apsaras, beautiful ladies, the world of Indra, as you would call, and therefore the appropriateness of love, Gandhamadana, Savitri meeting Satyavan, they are sort of correlatives. They get connected with each other. Gandhamadana is in that context. Now, the Ramayana story of Gandhamadana, perhaps you know very well, all of you know. Say, no? Okay. The battle is going on in Lanka between Rama's army and Ravana's army. And on the day before Ravana is defeated, it is a battle between Lakshman Rama's brother, and Ravana's son, Indrajit. Indrajit was a very powerful man, Ravana's son, very powerful man, and he had done great tapasya. He had acquired great tapasiddhi. He had power in him, and he was doing a yajna in a remote place, unknown to everybody, to gain power to defeat Lakshmana next day. And by some agency, these people came to know that if Indrajit succeeds in doing that yajna, it will be impossible to defeat him. And therefore that yajna had to be thwarted. And that was done. And still, when the battle between Lakshman and Indrajit took place next day, Lakshmana was wounded mortally by Indrajit. He would have died. And the doctors in the army, Rama's army, they said that there is only one particular medicine which can cure him from death. And that herb is available only on the Gandhamadana mountain. On the Gandhamadana mountain. Now that Gandhamadana mountain is in the Himalayas, Lanka is deep in the south here. This man is about to die. Who is going to bring that herb? And then at that point, his job was assigned to Maruti, Hanuman. And Vayu Vega, he would fly with the speed of wind. Hanuman. He would be Vayu Vega, he is Vayu Putra, you see. So he would fly with that speed, and then with his superjet velocity, he goes to the Himalayas. But then he is puzzled, poor fellow, he is puzzled. He doesn't know this Sanjeevani, this herb, in this whole mountain, this tree, which herb, I don't know, which herb to take, you see. It will be a disastrous if I take it. So what he does is, he lifts up the whole mountain. Lifts up the whole mountain and brings it there. Now you pick up whatever herb you want. You pick up whatever herb you want from there, you see. I don't know which herb is there. You can pick up your herb, you see. So, so that is called Sanjeevani, that herb, you see. That is the name of the thing. Yeah, huh? Yeah. Actually, there is a herb like that even in the episode of Enkidu, the Babylonian epic, you see. There is a herb of life. And then he picks up that herb of life, he comes to his friend, and then he falls asleep, and then unfortunately a goat comes and eats away that herb. You see that Babylonian myth. That goat swallowed that herb, and that poor fellow, then he suffers because of that, you see. Yeah. So I don't know the exact links, but it is there like that. That herb is there, Sanjeevani, is in the tradition. So Gandhamadana is that mountain on the Himalayas, and Hanuman, he had brought the whole thing on his palm and then placed it in front of these people there, the Dr. Vaidya, whosoever is there. Oh, now you pick whatever you want here, and then he does it, and then again lifts out that thing and gives it back. Yeah, of course. He is a great environmentalist. You not disturb. He not disturb the ecology. You see. Yeah. In the original Ramayana is not there. Later on, there are of course many beautiful additions and all that. You see. So that is the Gandhamadana mountain, and it is in the Himalayas, in the upper Himalayas, and it is also the place where the Gandharvas live, the heavenly minstrels, musicians, heavenly musicians, in the company of beautiful ladies, the Apsaras. And it is in that sense, he says, in fairy woods, let down the gleaming sloes of Gandhamadana, where the Apsaras roam. Thy limbs are shared sports which none has seen. Thy limbs are shared sports which none has seen. But I have seen. Narad has seen. I miss Narad. I said Narad. Thy limbs are shared sports which, which none has seen unless he sees it. Yeah. But he has said, I miss Narad. I'm talking on behalf of Narad. You see? Thy mortal bosom quivered with God's speech, and thy soul answered to a word unknown. Now here, in fact, this is the phrase.
So we understand now why he said in the beginning the spouse.
Yeah.
Because he is telling the beginning of the prophecy. He knows she is the spouse.
Yeah.
I mean, he's telling all the story.
And thy soul answered to a word. Now Narad is seeing all that thing. She is responding. She has answered the word. Now this word, the divine word, the word of love. It is that she has answered already. Word unknown.
How do you know that this is love? It says to a word unknown.
Answer to a word unknown.
How do you know what this is?
How do I know? W is capital.
Yeah, but it could mean anything. You say it means love.
W is capital. W is capital. So that is sufficiently indicative. It is the divine knowledge itself which is packed in the capital word W. Word stands for Brahma. Brahma, the eternal himself. Brahma. Word in the Vedic connotation is Brahma himself. Actually, in the Vedas, there is a frequent occurrence of the word Brahma, and that conveys the sense of the word, the uttered speech, the power of expression, that which is brought into manifestation. That is what the word means. Word means that which is conceived in silence, brought into manifestation. That is the word. That is the power of expression. The potential which is there in the divine, when it gets expressed, that comes into manifestation. That is word. Unknown, that is the thing. Thy soul answered.
What can be answered? What can be answered? In this context, it cannot be answered
Yeah.
than love.
Yeah. Actually, you hang out in the Bible also, no? St. John's, in the beginning with the Word, and the Word was all, and the Word was null. It starts with that. No, that is the Gnostic content of the Word, the full power, expressive power which is there in the Word. Power of expression. That word stands for the Gnostic knowledge. Is there.
Love. Nara knows that creation cannot love.
Answer to a word unknown.
You can say that, of course, but
Her soul has answered. What feet of gods, what ravishing fruits of heaven. Now, fruits of heaven, of course, flute is always stands, the flute note always stands for the call of love. Call of love. Ravishing flute of heaven. It is here. The call of love has come, and you answer to it. You answer to that, you see. Have trilled high melodies round, from near and far approaching to the soft and reveling air. Which still surprised thou hearest, which still surprised thou hearest. Yes, I know you have met your lover. You are hearing his sweet voice. You are still enchanted by the music of his speech. It is still ringing in your ears. What he spoke to you, it is still ringing. And still surprised, you are still hearing. You have come all the way from Shalva forest to Madura, driving long distances in the chariot. Even then, that voice has not faded away from your soul, from your ears. You are still hearing that voice constantly. It doesn't fade away. They have fed thy silence or some red strange ecstasy to fruit, and thou hast trod the dim moon peace of bliss. Yes, you are in the joy of your lover, moon peaks of bliss. The delight of the moon. Moon stands for the delight, moon peaks of bliss. Now, Narad is telling all these things as if he did not know, and yet therefore you are reveal, O winged with light. Yes, I know all that thing, but still tell us. This is a kind of an irony there, see. Reveal, because he is running back to knowledge. Reveal, O winged with light, when thou hast flown hastening bright youth through the green tangled earth, thy body rhythmical with the spring bird's call. Yes, your movements, your gait, your steps are rhythmical. It's rhythmical as if the bird is answering to a bird. Thy body rhythmical. So Narad is very lyrical also in asking these questions, in giving the description, very sweet also. And then he says, the empty roses of the hands are filled only with their own beauty, and the thrill of a remembered clasp. And in thee glows a heavenly jar, thy firm, deep-honeyed heart, new brimming with a sweet and nectarous wine. You are a jar, and your jar is filled up with nectarous wine, which is overflowing from the jar. Your jar is not able to contain that wine already. The empty roses of the hands. Now, when Savitri went, there were no roses in her hand. She went like that. She's coming back now, her hands with roses in her hands. Her hands have become rosy. The power of love, the change has taken place. Her hands have become rosy. They were not there. The discovery of love has really made her very lovely, very sweet, very charming. And Narad is telling very romantically, the empty roses of the hands are filled with only their own beauty. Yes, they are very beautiful and they are filled with their own beauty. And they become very rosy. He doesn't speak of cheeks, his body. He's talking of she was carrying something and she's coming with the roses in her hand, new brimming with a sweet and nectarous wine. Thou hast not spoken with the kings of pain. Now you are soon going to speak with the kings of pain. This is what it means. Sorry, you have not spoken, but soon you are going to speak with the kings of pain. Life's perilous music rings, yet thy ear far melodied, rapid, grand, the scent of a song, or soft as water crashing mid the hill, or mighty as a great chant of many winds. So he says, life's perilous music, yes, in a verse, Narad is telling, I have seen what has happened in the Shalva woods. I know you have met Satyavan and all that thing. You are in a happy mood. You are floating in the heavenly cloud. Yes, yes, yes. But the reality of this earth is of a different kind. And you have to wake up to the reality of this world. What is going to happen here tomorrow? Thou hast not spoken with the kings of pain. Now, which of course implies you are going to speak shortly. In other words, look, Savitri, you have found love. You have discovered love. You have to also discover death. You have to discover death. Then only the purpose of your coming here will be served. Narad is already initiating Savitri. When he is talking of this thing, he is preparing her psychologically. He is pouring his power into her soul. Each point, thou hast not spoken with the kings of pain, he is also pouring his power in the soul of Savitri. That, look, the kings of pain will confront you tomorrow. There is the power to protect you against their attack, against the adversary force. It is the power. He is constantly also giving that power while he is speaking all those things. Thou hast not spoken with the kings of pain. Lies, perilous music rings, yet to thy ear far melody. Yes, perilous music is there, but it is far away from you at the moment. You are not able to hear at all because you are caught in the joy of discovery of love. Therefore, you are not, that music is still far away from you. That perilous music is still far away from you. Moon bright, thou livest in thy inner bliss. Yes, Savitri, you are lucky that you are living in the inner bliss, where the kings of pain will not attack you. You are living in the inner bliss. The kings of pain will not come there. That is all right. Kings of pain will not come there, okay. But what about the outer nature? It is there. They will come and attack you. You have to be also careful about that. You have to guard yourself. Rapid, grand, a centaur's song. Now, this is what I was telling you last time. In fact, as she said also, centaur's song. So, this is the updated Narad. He knows the Greek mythology, you see. He has spoken of Gandhamadana, now he is speaking of centaur. Centaurs are, of course, the minstrels of the vital world, and their songs are very sweet, very enchanting, you see. Later on, Narad will speak of the centaur's shirt also, the blood-glued shirt of centaur. So he is very up to date in the Greek mythology, this Narad. As he says, rings yet to thy music, yet thou hast not spoken with the kings of pain. In the same sense, you have heard the centaur's song, but you have not heard the song of doom. You will have to hear the song of doom also shortly. And then he says, thou comest like a silver deer through groves of coral flowers and bursts of glowing dream. So you are living in a dream world. You are living in the inner bliss. You are in the inner trance, where the kings of pain cannot come and attack. You are living in the glowing dreams, bright dreams. There the kings of pain will not come and attack you. Or fierce like a wind goddess through leaves or roamest, O ruby-eyed, snow-winged dove. Such a purity you have, your soul, like a snow-winged dove, flitting through thickets of thy pure desire, in the unwounded beauty, of thy soul. Yes, you are living in the glowing dreams, and therefore your beauty is unwounded, is not blemished, is not cleaved, is not riven. Which again means that, look, Savitri, your beauty is not going to remain unwounded for too long. It will have to suffer. These things are only images of thy earth, but truest the truth of that which in thee sleeps. Yes, your dreams, your happy company, dream eyes, knowing dove, etc., they are in your sleep. You are in a sleep, dream, and they are very happy there. They are not the truest truth yet. They had to become real, concrete here. For such is the spirit, a sister of the gods. Thy earthly body lovely to the eyes, and thou art kin in joy to heaven's sun. Yes, that is your heavenly form, heavenly being, that is what you are. O thou who hast come to this great perilous world, now only seen to the splendor of that dream. Again you say, you are seeing this wonderful world of love through your dream. You are in the swapna. You are dreaming all that thing, not the concrete reality, Jagrata. Now only seen to the splendor of that dream. Yes, so in the dream, you can be very happy, very joyous, very bright, splendid, and all that kind of a thing. You can live in the dream, where hardly love and beauty can live safe. This perilous world, here, love and beauty cannot live safe. As long as you are in the dream, you are safe. But when you are going to step into this world, it is not going to be safe at all, where hardly love and beauty can live safe. Thyself a being dangerously great, a soul alone in a golden house of thorn, has lived warden by the safety of thy dream. You see, repeating that dream 3 times. Savitri, you are living in that loveliness of dream. You are imagining all those things. The Gandhamadana mountain, the Apsaras, Rome, forests, etc., etc. You are living the splendor of that dream, but you will remain safe only as long as you live in the dream. Is that going to be your life? You have to come to the reality of this world also. The dream will not be there anymore. And then we'll have to see, we'll have to hear the perilous music. We'll have to hear that. Has lived warden by the safety. See what a beautiful phrase. Safety of dream. Yes, I can remain like children. They remain happy in their own imagination. Nothing going to disturb them at all, you see. On heights of happiness, leaving doom asleep. Now he's talking, yes, you are on the topmost peak of happiness here. And you are not aware that the doom is lying asleep there. His doom is sleeping at your feet. On heights of happiness, living doom asleep, thou hunts unseen the unconscious lives of men. If thy heart could live locked in the ideal's gold, if thy heart could live locked in the ideal's gold, if you remain forever in the world of that happy dream, it's wonderful. But how can you live forever? If it cannot remain locked always in the ideal's gold. You have to see the reality of this creation also, of this world. You have to speak with the kings of pain. As high as happy might thy waking be. If you always remain, if you are able to come out of your sleep, what you have seen and experienced in the dream, if you are able to bring the dream into your life, then you will be happy. But it is not possible. It cannot happen that way. You cannot remain locked in the ideal's gold. You will face this harsh world, this harsh creation. You have to face this thing. If for all time doom could be left to sleep, in other words, it is not going to be, doom cannot be left to sleep. And you have to face the doom. If not today, tomorrow. It has to happen. If for all time doom could be left to sleep, Savitri is already made aware, if she is perceptive enough, sensitive enough to catch the hints, she knows that something bad is going to happen tomorrow already. She is wakened up to that. She is wakened up to that not as a kind of an admonition, not as kind of an omen which is shown to her, but she is woken up also to face that moment. Yes, I have been living here like a princess, happy, joyous, everybody taking care of me in every great respect, everybody serving me, I have something else also to do, and Savitri has to wake up to that reality of this world, the vision, the mission which she has to fulfill here. She has to prepare for that, and therefore doom must arrive. If for all time doom could be left to sleep, it cannot be left to sleep. He spoke but held his knowledge back from words. I don't know whether he has really held the knowledge back. Yes. He has said more than what he should have said. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That is the art of the storyteller. That is the art of the storyteller. The suspense is there, the tension is quite taut, you see, the whole thing. You see. He spoke but held his knowledge back from words. In other words, he has not simply uttered the word, he has told what is going to happen. Now, that word will come later on after long exchange, this thing, that thing, etc., etc. And then you say, 12 months are given to him and her alone to be together. And this day returning, Satyavan must die. And he is telling that thing. He says that he is making that utterance that Satyavan will die after the return of this day in order to steal the will of Savitri, to make the will of Savitri firm. She had decided to marry Satyavan, and she should stick on to that decision, to steal, to make it firm, solid, the will of Savitri. He spoke but held his knowledge back from words, as a cloud plays with lightning's vivid love, but still holds back the thunder in his heart. Only he let bright images escape. I don't know whether these images are bright, but they are very suggestive. Yeah. His speech, like glimmering music, veiled his thoughts. So he is speaking, but everything is held back also. See. Pitiful to mortals, only to them it spoke, as wind flatters the bright summer air of living beauty and of present bliss. He hid in his all-knowing mind the rest. To those who hearken to his celestial voice, the veil heaven's pity throws on future pain, the immortal sanction same of endless joy. Yes, that is the sanction of the immortals, of the gods, of the future pain. Now, we'll quickly see some of these things. See, Narad was addressing to Savitri, who is this who comes, the bride? He was asking that question to Savitri basically. Rather, he's not really asking, he said, oh, who has come? Like that, you see. And he's describing all that thing. He's addressing the whole thing to Savitri. But Ashwapati answered to the seer. Now it is not Savitri, but Ashwapati. Now, that but is a wonderful word here. It is not Savitri who is going to answer. It is not anybody else but Ashwapati. He is, in the plain language, he is talking to Savitri, and this man has no business to talk anything at all. Savitri should answer. No, she is not going to take. He is going to say, but Ashwapati. He is talking all that thing to Savitri, so he should have just kept quiet and seen the response of Savitri, what she is going to say about that thing. But Ashwapati kind of makes haste and comes forward and says, but Ashwapati answered to the seer. Seer, you see, that is important because he knows that what he is going to say, what he is saying, has a kind of an inevitability in it. He has seen it. He has seen that thing, what is going to happen. He is a seer from that angle. And it is in response to that, Ashwapati is going to answer. In other words, we can say that it is Ashwapati who knows that Narad has seen that thing, of which no idea is available to Savitri, and certainly not to her mother. Savitri is seeing Narad as a rose of God, splendid person there, as we have seen earlier. She doesn't see him as a seer in that sense. He sees somebody as a marvelous person, as we have seen earlier. But here, Savitri, as we have already seen earlier, saw like a rose of marble worshipping the fiery sweetness of the Son of Heaven.
How does she know it is the Son of Heaven?
That is all she says. But what is behind it, she doesn't know. Fiery sweetness only. She sees the sweetness part of it, brilliant sweetness. But the knowledge part of it is not there. She doesn't know. No, no, that is the point. You mean to say that Ashwapati knew him?
I think he's famous enough. People realize it.
You see, he walks into the palace and is welcome and all that.
Now you imagine if the Son of Heaven come here, he would not be able to sit with another one. He must be different, for sure.
Well, I mean, that
Because he is the Son of Heaven.
the fiery spirit is the Son of Heaven, that is all she. But that Narad is a seer, that part is not there for Savitri. What he is speaking, what he has seen, that she cannot. Therefore, it is Ashwapati, more appropriate thing is Ashwapati who would ask him. But Ashwapati answered to the seer. I think in a certain sense it's very logically tight, the whole description. I mean, the correlations are this. See, let me tell you something different which is kind of assumed, taken for granted in the Indian psychology. Narad is taken by these people as a household figure. As a household figure, as a household person. Everybody knows it. He walks in the palace, he is received, welcome. See, he is walking straight away into the palace. No guard is going to stop him, nothing, you see. And he is going to sing for 1 hour and all that thing. He is given all the welcome reception and whatnot, you see. In other words, he is a very familiar person. In fact, in the Mahabharata story, Ashwapati says, "You are my preceptor, my teacher, my guru, and I will obey, I will accept what you are saying. I will accept what you are saying." So it is in that context, it is taken as a kind of a household figure. Who is this that comes? It is not that Savitri is new to him in that sense. As I told you last time, I mean, oh, you have come. It's like that, you see. Like that. In that sense, you see. He is a household figure, well known to people like that, you see. If he has that eye, with that intimacy, that kind of an intimacy is there, you see. But the description is very taut. Therefore, this but is a very beautiful but, I tell you. It could not have been more. It could not have been more beautiful. See, most effective also. And therefore he says, you see, he is not now Ashwapati because he is a king and he sang to them. The earthly seas were there around him. Therefore, his listening mind, it is Ashwapati's listening mind which was hearing what Narad has said so far. You see, his listening mind had marked the dubious close. The dubious close, if doom could be left to sleep forever, if for all time doom could be left to sleep. That's the dubious close, because Ashwapati here is now occupied with the worldly duties, and therefore he is doing things with the listening mind. And therefore, to the listening mind, it is a dubious close. Ashwapati, as a yogi, as a seer, there is nothing dubious in that for him. An ominous shadow felt behind the words. Well, I think we can also feel the shadow, very thick shadow is there. What are you going to say? But calm like one who ever sits facing fate. That is the nature of Ashwapati. Calm like one who ever sits facing fate. The world is sees that around him. He is surrounded by the worldly events, worldly cares. Here, mid the dangerous contours of earth's life, he answered, covered thought with guarded speed. So he is also going to make a very cautious answer, measured answer. And he says, we'll take this later on, but just let us read this quickly, the sentence. O deathless sage who knowest all things here. Now that is the great qualification of Narad. That is the qualification of Narad in the eyes of Ashwapati. You are of course deathless, you are immortal. He doesn't say immortal, he says deathless sage. He says deathless sage. He has taken a human form here and come here. There is a difference between the immortal and deathless. Yeah. Deathless means you can take birth and yet remain deathless. You can will to take birth and come. Deathless sage who knows all things here. Well, in a certain sense, Ashwapati is kind of limiting down the knowledge of Narad. He is not giving the full credit to the knowledge which Narad has, because all things here, he knows not only all things here, he knows things elsewhere also. He knows all things, but here in the context of the event now, all here. If I could read by the ray of my own wish, well, I can ride on imagination on my horse, on my wishes, and then see what happens. If I could read by the ray of my own wish, through the carved shield of symbol images which thou hast thrown before thy heavenly mind, I might see the steps of a young godlike life. That is the important thing. Ashwapati has already seen this future in Savitri's life. Young godlike life. What? Steps of a young godlike life. Savitri has discovered love, but Ashwapati is already seeing God life in her life. Happily beginning luminous night on earth, between the unknowable and the unseen, born on the borders of two wonder worlds. It flames out symbols of the infinite and lives in a great light of inner sun, lives in a great light of inner sun. Who lives? Savitri. The godlike life of Savitri is there in that. Lives in a great light of inner sun. That is what I see in what he says. It means he is asserting something very positive in the life of Savitri already here.